I'm trying to remove the stickers. The hot gun or the dryer did not work for me, so I'm using this blade and I'm going to remove only this price tag or the barcode stuff, and I'm going to leave this because this says like which is nose and everything and specifies the color, and I like this contrast, so I'm going to leave this there. And this is way too strong than whatever it is, whatever I imagined. Actually, I could not peel this off, and it's impossible to use the blade to peel the entire strip. I might damage the board, so I'm going to take this price tag off and proceed with the resin coating over the skateboard deck. So I somehow managed to remove that sticker with the blade. I wouldn't say it's a clean job, but okay, it was some decent job. And I have decided to go with this signature rather doing some artwork. Like this is my signature, traditional signature, which I put for all my artwork, and this is the symbol you will find it in micro shots and photography. So I thought I'll go with that simply. I must have got a clear grip tape, but that was little expensive, so hence I have to go with the black color grip tape. So otherwise I would like a plain maple color. So the plan is like I'm going to apply some epoxy resin over this one and turn the board, let it dry for 24 hours. After drying, then I will turn the board, then apply epoxy resin there again before I put the grip tape and everything, just to protect the board from kind of making it waterproof. So that's the idea. So let me go and make a mix of epoxy resin. Peace out. So I'm all gloved, protected now with the latex glove. Here I am taking the Axon Part A and Part B epoxy resin. This is super glossy clear resin. This one is the soft material and this is the hardener. It has to be taken in 2:1 ratio, which is mentioned here in the bottle itself. So I'm going to take that, measure it accordingly in 2:1 ratio, pour it on the board and apply it. Okay, so let's take some part A. To 45 grams and one ratio, it's like 125 122.5, so it's like 345 plus 22.5, which is like 367.5. Oh no, little excess. Since part B got little excess, I had to add a little bit of part A as well. So now I'm going to mix this well and then start pouring and applying it on the skateboard. Okay, I'll mount this on the tripod. Peace out. Epoxy resin के இந்த வந்து paint போதா? That I did not know. So the epoxy resin is dissolving my permanent marker's signature, which I did not expect. So I'm gonna let that pass. Okay, it's all right. It's a learning. I think whatever I have taken will be enough for both sides. apply only one coat.
Forgive me, this is going to be with fan noise.
I'm going to have to anticipate where there might be water splashes occurring quite often and apply a little bit more of resin in that space. You guys can see I'm going to speed this up later in the post, but I have applied on the most anticipated area where it might take more water splashes, and I have removed the excess which is on the sides. You could see that one forming a droplet there. If it dries, it's going to form a droplet like this, and it's going to be there like that on the top layer, which will be a hindrance for us to stick the grip tape there. I might have to keep a check on that and remove all the water droplets, not the resin droplets that you find over there after some time. So that's the application of resin here. I'm going to let it cure for 24 hours, and after 24 hours I'm going to flip the board and apply it on the top layer and let that cure for 24 hours. Then we'll apply the grip tape, make it ready and everything. By that time I will oil all the, sorry, I shouldn't be touching it with my glove, there is some resin over there. I'll oil all the bearings, and by the way, it's resting on the wheels actually. What you see here is the wheels wrapped in plastic wrap which the board came in, and that's the idea. And here you have these spacers as well. So then there is one more thing I might have to do. I have to cut some OHP sheets so for the shape of the longboard trucks. So that's what is going to go there. My parents are in Canada at the moment, and I've asked them to buy some razor pads. Razor pads are cheap over there than buying it in India. So right now, whenever it's curing and being ready, I'm going to do it a mount with the OHP sheets, like a top mount but with plain OHP sheets, couple of OHP sheets for both the front and rear trucks. So that's the idea. So I wish this turns out pretty well. It's my first board. Peace out.
Good morning guys, I'm still not awake. I have plans for some photo work today. I haven't even brushed my teeth. Forgive me. We are here to check the board. It's been drying all night. It said like it will take 24 hours to cure. So it's already dry at certain surfaces. Sorry. It's already dry at certain surfaces, but I'm gonna let it cure for 24 hours. I'll apply the coating for the upper part of the board once the 24 hours is complete. So the board is dry as of now. Peace. And forgive my gesture. It's gonna take 48 hours, like 24 hours for bottom layer. I have to flip the board. It's gonna take another 24 hours after applying the resin.
So guys, how are you? and it was a lengthy day for me. I got to go for a photo walk and have to come back, deal with the daily chores, take all the backups of the files, check the footage, check the photographs that I've done within the photo walk and everything. And it was at Ponmalai market, and it came out decent. And after that, I have to settle down a little bit, take care of the chores again, my dinner regular activities, do all the regular stuff, and get back to my skateboard thing here. So what do we have? We have a dry board. This backside has been completely cured. It's all cured. It's cured in the sense like it's dry. It's been like 24 hours since I did that. Forgive with the camera handling here. That was a little funny. I was filming with my front facing camera. It's alright. So what we are going to do now is like we're going to flip the board and apply the epoxy resin on the back side of the skateboard, okay, and rest it for another 24 hours and let it cure, okay. And it's not like you have to use the epoxy resin to do some sort of waterproofing or apply some sort of protective coating to your wood. You can always use some any kind of polymer or any kind of varnish, polyurethane varnish, any kind of spray paint varnish. You could do whatever you want to do with your board, like just that I have mistakenly purchased the epoxy resin instead of the silicone rubber. I'm using the purchased epoxy resin to coat my skateboard. So it's up to you like what you want to coat with, okay. So that's what I'm going to do. And moreover, I was just checking the previous video which I made yesterday. It's like I have been calling the measurements of the epoxy resin in hundreds, forgetting the decimal points. Actually it was like 24 grams initially, then after adding the hardener it becomes like around 30 plus something, and totally it was like 40.5 grams. It was not like 400 grams or like 245 or 300 and something. It's not like that. It was like two numbers and then a decimal point. So I made a mistake on that. Forgive me. So now let's go make some mixture and do this. And a lesson learned from yesterday is I tried to pour the epoxy resin in a glass jar, small jar like this, which is some seasoning jar, and I thought like I was smart enough and kept this bottle in the fridge, thought it wouldn't harden or anything, but actually when you mix the hardener with the resin, it will definitely harden the liquid completely, no matter what, wherever you keep it, inside the fridge or outside the fridge, okay. So don't be stupid like me. So it was a lesson learned for me. It was a lesson for me. So always take the correct amount of epoxy resin required for your use, okay. Oh no, that light had spoiled with flare. Hope you don't mind. And so today that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the right amount of resin, probably 20 grams or so, or less than that, to coat the top layer of the skateboard. So let me take the necessary quantity and get back to you guys. Peace out. Yes, we are back again. So I'm gonna pour the party resin. I'm gonna take it in 2:1 ratio here. This time I'm going to mention it in grams, and yes, it was the same cup from yesterday, and whatever you see inside has hardened. Whatever little quantity of epoxy resin which was there left with mixed with hardener got hardened. So I'm going to take like 10 grams of the resin. I'm going to mix like 5 grams of hardener. So that was like 15 grams. Oh my god, became 15.9. Wanna add a little bit of actual this thing. Yeah, that should be fine. Forgive the ratios here. So I'm gonna mix that properly. Mix well. You need to stir it well before you actually pour it to the surface where you want to cover it with the epoxy resin. Okay, so I'm gonna mix this well and then apply. Flip the board now. Say, do it right in front of the camera. So those are the wheels covered in plastic wrap. Anyways, so this is the top layer we have here. So I'm gonna coat it nicely this with the epoxy. So hope you could spot the color difference. It has become a little pale and this one is still bright Canadian maple. Okay, so let me mix and put my camera on the tripod and start applying it. Peace out.